Prepare for a fusion of knowledge and exhilaration where education and excitement collide.
Taking you on an adventure that expands your mind and speaks to your spirit.
I'm Master Nick.
I'm Lady D.
We are the Dom Life.
This podcast contains sexually explicit topics and adult content.
It is intended for listeners 18 and older.
The opinions expressed in this podcast are ours alone, based on our personal thoughts, feelings, and experiences.
We understand that others may have different opinions and experiences, and we respect that. We would love to hear from you. You can reach out to us at www.thedomlife.com. Hello, everyone. We are coming to you hot from Studio 1.
Season 2.
Season 2.
Season 2.
Pow.
It's already been over a year now.
Yep.
Season 2.
Over a year. Feels like 10.
Feels like it was just yesterday that you came to me and pissed me off and said, let's do a podcast.
It does. It feels like yesterday, and it feels like 10 years ago. It is.
Yeah.
It is crazy how the time actually feels.
So
sometimes.
we're doing this episode just to kind of reintroduce ourselves,
Yep.
huh?
So
Talk about season 2?
Reintroduction to ourselves. We've got a few questions that we've picked out for each other. Some are the same, some are a little different. And we want to talk about what we're looking to bring to you in season 2. Some topics, some subjects, some episodes. Obviously, if you listening at home or at work have topics or suggestions or something that you're interested in, make sure and reach out to us. I do know on our website, there is the Contact Us tab. And we have gotten 3 or 4 messages over the last week from listeners that were asking legitimate questions. The only problem is they did not put in a valid email when typing it out. So although we did reply to you, if you are one of them that sent us a message through there, we did reply to you. But when you click that, it's going to ask you for your email address. And if you do not put that in correctly or don't put a valid email there, you will not get our response.
It doesn't work.
And that bothers me because I'm like, we've got people that want to ask these questions that are wanting answers. And now there's no way of finding out who it
Crickets.
is.
It seems like we're not doing what we're supposed to.
So if you go to our website, if you do the Contact Us tab, make sure you enter a valid email, verify it, make sure you didn't fat finger something.
Or
you can just shoot us an email straight at masternick@thedomlife.com. We will get it that way as well. But make sure, we want you to get the answers from us. Make sure and do it correctly.
This week was really interesting too, because we just dropped the last episode, our 1-year anniversary episode.
Yes.
And this past week we had the most listeners in one day.
Yes, we did. On Thursday, we had a total of 81 downloads. And for us, that's a record. We have never had that many downloads in one day. So I don't know if it was one of you, if it was multiple of you, where you're at. I have no idea, but
we appreciate you.
Thank you for reaching and downloading those, for finding us. Keep downloading, keep sharing, tell people about it, tell your coworkers about it. I'm sure you're not the only freaky person at your workplace. Share it. Let's get the Dom Life out there. Let's get people interested in finding their kinks and their fetishes. And again, send us some information. What do you want to know? Is there a question you have for us that we would love to have a Q&A session from our listeners. So we get enough people to send us questions. We can make an episode of it. So Get busy, get sending us messages. Let us know what you want to hear, questions you have. So we are going to jump into what kind of topics, Lady D, would you like to bring into season 2?
I'm glad you used the word topics and not topic, because there's a lot.
I'm sure there's more than one.
There's a lot, but
probably a few.
We just had a discussion about primal.
Yes.
And I think it would be really interesting to have an episode on primal and prey.
Okay.
And if we can find somebody who's a primal dom,
Yes.
I think it would be helpful because we would be giving our information from a research standpoint instead
Right.
of I've done it and
Right.
I know it.
Right. I can agree with that. I would love to find out how they set up their scenes and the successes that they've had and the lessons learned from what they've done. I would be very eager to hear that.
Yes. Another one that we recently talked about was CNC. We did a whole
Oh, yeah.
episode on CNC,
That would be awesome.
but it would be awesome to talk to somebody who has who has accomplished a
Yes.
CNC scene
Yes.
and how they went about it and how it came out. I think that somebody who
Right.
has accomplished that would be interesting to talk to, pick their mind apart, figure out what works, what doesn't.
Right. That would be a really good one. I could get into the CNC thing, I believe.
It was a great episode. I
Oh, yeah.
enjoyed talking about it
Yeah.
and
I mean,
being
especially considering we haven't really set up a CNC. We haven't done it. We've talked about it. We've, talked about some of our fantasies about doing it.
right.
But having somebody here that has done it, that has fulfilled it, again, what were their successes and what were their lessons learned in it? And then for us to try to build on that and try to make something happen for us, I think it'd be really cool.
Another thing that we did was during season 1, we talked about Sir Dance-A-Lot.
Oh, yeah.
So cabaret
Yes.
dancing. And he has been working so hard on his performances and
Yes.
actually done some. And we just were never able to connect to get him on the show. We didn't
Right.
take the additional steps. And I think if he would be interested in it, that would be something I would love to see.
Okay. Yeah. Because again, sitting down and talking to him that night, we met him out at a comedy club in Louisville. And it was kind of cool because he kept looking over at us. And then finally, there towards the end of the show, he was like, I recognize y'all's voices. So it was great to run into somebody that we've never met. We didn't know. We had seen him perform,
Yes.
which is also why he really listened to that episode, because we talked about their performances that night.
He knew it was.
And he knew it was him. And so then he realized it was us. But to sit down and talk with him and his positive energy and his outlook on life was amazing. I mean, you left there feeling 10 times better
Yes.
by hearing him talk and his philosophy on things and how he lives his life. And it was truly amazing. So yes, I think we do need to reach out to him and see if he's interested and see if he has time available to where he can come and spend a couple hours with us to sit down and talk to him.
Yeah. I'm in complete agreement. We're going to make that happen in season 2.
Yep. All right. So we can do that.
And then I guess I'm going to have to end on rope.
What? No way.
So I bought all this rope
I know you
and
did.
my intention was to tie, and it just never happened.
Why?
Because
all the free time that we have in this world.
We have no free time.
Why have you not used any of that
free
rope?
time. But I say that, and yet our friends are over at the club doing harnesses. Why am I not? So I use the excuse that we've been awfully busy doing demos and other things.
Right.
But on the flip side, all I need to do is pull out a piece of rope and start doing it.
Right.
So as you know, because it's been so long since we've done the class,
It's time for a refresher.
It is, and that's what we're going to do. So we'll be talking about that.
End of the month, we are signed up for a rope class, some kind. I can't remember the name of it now. You told me about it. You're the one that done all the research and all that stuff on it. You just run it by me to.
It's a weekend event.
Yep.
So it should be fun, and then we'll give a breakdown afterwards.
There you go. Perfect. Maybe you can get re-acknowledged, reacquainted with your rope.
With the rope that sits in a bag that doesn't get touched. Yes, that would be awesome.
That would be good. I'd like for you to do that.
So, what are some topics that
Well,
you would like to talk
you
about?
mentioned the rope.
Yep,
You
the
know,
rope.
you wanted to learn rope, and you took the initiative to purchase the rope.
That's all I've done, though.
Well, it's more than me because in season 1, you remember I mentioned I'm interested in fire play.
Yes.
I think that would be really something to take to the next level for us, to be able to light you on fire. I think it
Oh,
would be
yeah.
cool as hell. So
I mean, you
I
mean it's
have
going to be hot as
it's
hell?
going to be hot as hell. It'd be hot, hot, hot in more than one way. Um, but all I've done on it is, I've researched a little, but I haven't purchased anything. I haven't made any, purchases as far as what tools or implements or anything I need to buy. What I would like to do is find somebody that does fire play and get them on the show and kind of get them to talk about how they do it. What safety measures do they take? What is the best implements to use for it? What is the best liquid? I know it's a certain type of alcohol, but they make so many different varieties and blends, to find out which one is the best.
It was kind of like the wax, the research and the
Right?
stuff that goes into the wax. It's the same with the
It
fire.
is.
There's a million people that say this is what you can use or this is
Right.
the best.
But have somebody that has done it, that still does it, and that could kind of teach us, whether it be here in our dungeon or maybe they have their own space that they like to use. But that is at the top of my list for season 2, is to talk more about fire play with somebody and to maybe learn how to do it. Something else that kind of interests me and kind of piques my interest a little bit is blood play.
Yeah, I think that we know people.
Oh yeah, we know a couple.
We know people that do it.
Yeah.
And I don't know that we should lay it all out there
Right.
yet.
No, but we have seen. First was experienced with it in Cincinnati at Grand Fetish Affairs. There was people there that was set up that was doing it, and then we have, like I said, we've got people in our group that has sent pictures,
Oh
and
my
we've seen their
gosh.
setup, and it is a nice setup.
Yeah, I think that
I
if
don't know
they're
that you
willing to
would be.
talk about it,
Yeah.
it would be awesome to have them on and talk about what it does, how it makes them
Right.
feel, why you would even go that way. I I I, I like tattoo needles.
Right. I don't
But
think you
these are
would be
like
interested in doing the
real
actual. Right.
needles. Like I can't
You have a
even
hard
look
time.
when I get a shot. I'm turned away and
Right. Another topic I would really like to learn more about is master and slave. And I would like to be able, once again, sit down with somebody who is in a master slave dynamic, because I'm curious to find out, how did it start? Did they start out as a dominant submissive? Did it evolve into a master slave, or was it from the get go master slave? How did that conversation go?
right.
How did they get from either being not knowing each other to a master slave, or getting into a
Is
relationship
it contracted right
involving.
away or
Right.
how did they
So
right?
I want to dig deeper into that, find out a little more now. I want to know, like, how is their dynamic significantly different than a dominant submissive? Where does the line stop for dominant submissive and go into master slave?
One of the
So
interesting things is you're already called Master Nick, but
yes,
that's because I gave you this
yes,
title. We came up and discussed it, but it's not a master slave
correct,
relationship.
correct. So I do go by Master Nick, but that's because you picked it.
I picked it and it's on your tattooed on
It's on
both
my
of
arm.
us.
Yep. Another one, and it's growing a lot in popularity. Animal play. We've seen it again at Grand Fetish Affair in Cincinnati. We've got a few people at the club that have done animal play. We have seen their costumes. We have seen different odd and end stuff that they've done.
Collars and the bells and the
Right. But I
right.
want to. Animal play is something that I'm interested in, but not interested in enough to research it myself. So by finding somebody that does animal play and learning more about it through them, it may be what I need to push me over the edge to really research it myself, to
Right.
get into it. Again, I love seeing people do it. I love seeing their costumes. I don't know if it's something that I'm really into, so therefore I'm not willing to research it myself. But there may be something that intrigues me enough to makes me want to really get in there. But most of all, for you listening at home or at work, maybe you're interested in animal play. So we want to give you this option, to talk about this kind of things and to bring it on in case you're interested in it. Just because we're not interested in it, don't mean we don't want you to be interested in it. So I
Right.
think it would be a good educational thing all the way around for us, for our listeners, and anybody who's interested.
I agree.
And then the last thing, I'm really, really excited. We've had this trying to get lined up for a while, but we
Yes.
have somebody who is into Spankos, and we've tried a couple times getting them here, and both times those have fell through for an interview.
Because of us.
Yeah, sickness or something came up.
Yes.
But we do have her scheduled again, so she'll be coming here in season 2 to talk about Spankos and all the great things that they enjoy by being spanked. So I'm definitely excited to get into that episode and find out more about that.
Yay. Okay, so we have some questions for each other, right?
Yeah, we got a few.
All right. Well, what do you think was the most memorable thing that happened in season 1 for you? What is the thing that was the most memorable that you remember right now?
All right, so right now, probably for me the most memorable thing was the deeper dive into domination interviews.
Okay.
To have as many people that we had to come on and to sit down with us and to answer the questions that we had for them
When we were brand new.
when we were brand new into the podcast and everything. Some, not only are we willing to put our life and our relationship and our dynamic out to anybody that's willing to listen, and that was from the beginning. We knew that going into it.
Yeah. It's not like I can do it half-assed.
Right. But to find the other couples, the dominants, some had their submissives with them that were willing to come on and share their story, not only for us, but for everybody. Now, here's what makes it so memorable for me. Originally, we was doing this to educate people that were listening.
Yes.
But we didn't just educate the people that were listening.
Nope.
We educated ourselves as well. And there was a lot of stuff that I learned. There was a lot of stuff that made me take a step back and look at how I am as a dominant. So what's supposed to have been an educating moment, a different perspective for our listeners, it impacted me so much.
Yes.
By how they do things, the rules that they have, whether they had contracts or not, how they lived their life, the things that they do, the names that they call each other, how all that come about. That was like so meaningful to me. Again, they were willing to talk about it. They were willing to answer questions that we had, and we learned from it as well.
Yes.
So to me, that's probably the most memorable. However, I'm going to switch gears just a little bit because I do have one more. And I would have to say that the episode where we give the public service announcement.
Just look in your eyes. What? What public service announcement?
So in case you're new to the show, and this is the very first one, I don't remember what episode it was, but there is a public service announcement that if you have a female that is a squirter and they happen to squirt while standing on laminate floors, just know laminate floors will warp when they get wet or soaked, whichever direction you go to.
You're so mean.
That's also one of my most memorable moments from season 1.
You are not the only one.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that episode. That was a lot of fun.
Well, I can't say that I didn't have fun either, considering I'm the reason you needed a towel.
Yep, it was. All right, well, right back at you on that one. So what's one of your most memorable moments from season 1, Lady D?
listening to you talk about the deeper dive into domination, I do want to say something because you were talking about learning. And one of the things that was a common theme throughout that whole episode and every interview we did is that the people that were on said, I always thought I was a freak. I thought I was different than everyone else.
Right.
From the minute I started feeling sexual, it was a different, it wasn't romance. It wasn't,
Right.
it was these kind of things. And to me, that hits pretty hard because I felt the same way.
Oh, yeah.
I've always felt different sexually on what I wanted, what I needed. And hearing so many other people say the same
Right.
thing, both friends, people that we've just interviewed just for the podcast, all
Right.
that made a big difference because it makes you feel more comfortable in your own skin hearing other people say
Right.
the same.
Which is also why we wanted to do this podcast,
Yes.
because there is a lot of people out there that feel like they don't belong, that feel like there is something wrong with them, that feels like they're the black sheep of the family because of these fantasies and these kinks that they have. And we are trying to shine light onto it,
Educate,
make people more aware that this stuff exists,
make
and
it
it's okay
mainstream.
to be that way.
And then that leads into the second part of like, that was just because I'm listening to you. So
Right.
what I really was thinking was one of the interview with Sparkle Moon Beam,
Yes.
Shannon from LNK.
Yes.
When we interviewed her, I got very emotional
Yes, you did.
because she is actively trying to set up a safe place for people to be themselves.
Yep.
Whatever that may look like, whether you agree, you don't agree, it's not your kink, it is your kink. She is trying to set up a safe place for people to be themselves. And I fear that if we don't set those up, my son is one of those people that will need the safe
Right.
space to be
I can
who
see that.
he is. And I really, really got emotional during that interview
Right.
and felt this real connection with that,
Oh yeah.
that
That was
mission.
a huge personal connection that you made. And it wasn't like you was personally connected with Shannon. You was connecting with her ideas and
Her
her
mission,
thoughts and
her-
her mission.
yeah.
Yes. Of everything. Yep. That was, I do remember that interview. And it was it got tougher for a little bit. And
Yeah.
there was a few tears shed on that one.
I can't even imagine a world that doesn't allow us to speak this. And sometimes it feels like the pendulum is sliding back the wrong way.
Right.
And I don't want that for our worlds.
Right.
So hopefully we can continue this
yeah.
kind of
Oh yeah.
education. So thank you, Shannon, for what you've done. And we appreciate it. And it meant a lot.
Absolutely. What else you got for me? I know
right.
you've got another one.
Well,
for me.
let's flip because
'cause I've got
I
one
almost
for
got
you.
emotional again.
All right, here we go. Let's get back to something freaky.
So, yeah, what? Why would you think I was going freaky? I could have been going to something nice and sweet and sugary.
Fuck. All right, let's do something nice, sweet, and sugary.
Nope.
Then. Okay.
Give me what a fantasy night of BDSM looks like to you. Tell me what a fantasy night looks like to you.
It's my fantasy, or it's
It's
somebody
your
else's fantasy that I'm trying
Of
to.
course,
okay.
it's your
my
fantasy.
What would be my fantasy for a BDSM night?
Best.
Give me. Oh boy.
Give you.
Give me 10 to 15
10 to 15 what?
beautiful females, 5'2" or shorter.
Shit.
That
I
I
am
can-
5'4". We have a problem, Master
This
Nick.
is my fantasy, butt out of it. I want 10 to 15 hot females, 5'2" or shorter, that I can tie to the cross, that I can use
I'm
any
twitching.
implement I want.
I'm twitching. You married me.
I'm not done yet. Let
Okay.
me finish my fantasy.
Okay. 5'2". Keep
Five
going.
foot two or less, that I could do anything I wanted to with any implement that I have. And when I am done with those 10 to 15, you are last in line.
You see how he threw that in? I'm just saying,
No,
all you
that's my
listeners.
fantasy. Because that's how we do things. I get to put other people on the cross,
Uh-huh.
but I end with you.
Uh-huh.
You are the finale. You're always
My
the
eyes
finale.
twitching.
But I want 10 to 15, 5'2" or less, to get me built up and warmed up and loosened up, and then we throw the finale on.
I am Japanese, okay? So I'm going to shrink. I'm going to shrink. One day I'm going to be 5'2".
And then you'll be part of my fantasy, girl.
I love you. Okay, so that's your
That's my fantasy.
That's your BDSM night fantasy.
That is my fantasy.
Right there.
Yep, that is my fantasy. But now I'm going to flip it. So this is a question. Let's stay with BDSM related. What would a fantasy BDSM night look like for you?
Well, you already made it happen.
Well, I know I did, but let's talk about another.
Okay. So, considering on my birthday, you already
Mm-hmm.
gave me the people eating food off of me.
That was at the top of your fantasy
I
list.
giggled a lot that night. That was a lot of fun.
Yes, it was.
So that kind of leads into maybe something that's a little bit more risque.
Okay.
Maybe just a little bit more.
I'm listening. Does it involve any 5'2" females or shorter?
So that would be your that would be your call, because I'd be blindfolded.
Oh, okay.
Restrained.
Yes.
And my thinking is like, I don't know, 2, 1 being you, or 3 people.
Okay.
And I'm not particular male or female because I'm blindfolded. I guess probably another male and a female, or it could be 3 males. I'm, but I'm restrained and blindfolded. And then basically a night of play like that, whether it's, whether there's sex or not really doesn't matter. As long as I have orgasms, playing with implements and tools, and
where you're the center of attention.
Yes.
Okay.
It's kind of like being eaten off of was the same kind of thing.
Right,
all eyes were on me. Everybody was focused on my body, but this would amp it up a little bit more. There would be maybe some implements that we can use that are sensation, sensory, that kind of play.
Okay.
Of course, I always want you involved because you know my body better than anybody, as proven out last night, where you nearly killed me by orgasms.
But did you die?
I came so close.
But did you die?
But I flipped over and was like panting, having to breathe.
You almost died.
I almost died. I was calling out to God.
It was a good night.
It was a night.
It was a good night.
But okay, that being said, it would just be sensory, sensual play with multiple partners, but I don't want to know. I'd like to be blindfolded. It's not like I want to pick and choose. I think that would be fun. And if you recorded it, I think that might be even more fun afterwards, seeing
I might
it.
know somebody's got a few cameras.
Maybe 1 or 3. And then, that's kind of like whether we make it happen or not doesn't matter. It's just one of those like being restrained and taken over and enjoyed. And then a second, of course, is rope suspension. I really want, and I want it maybe like a private session where I'm working with somebody that I'm very comfortable with, or I have a lot of faith in their skills, because I have difficulty being restrained in certain circumstances, certain ways. And so, plus I'm older, so my body doesn't move the way it used to. And I don't know, I need somebody who can accommodate me if we have to shift or change.
Gotcha.
Because of those restraints. If it's like, but I know that I want to feel that sensation of being suspended. So that, I guess, would be my other fantasy. And we have hard points Everybody, you know.
We do. We've got a couple of them hanging somewhere around here.
Or, you
Wouldn't be
know,
too hard to find them.
no, we just slide some things over and it works.
Yep.
So,
All right.
yeah.
You got some good fantasies there.
Yeah, yours all involve 5'2" people. Mine involves 6 foot. No, I'm just kidding.
You would prefer over 6 foot. I can tell
Over
you that.
6 foot.
See, I'm not the only freaky one that has standards for your fantasies.
For my fantasies.
Right.
All right.
I mean, I could do a 5'3" or 5'4", but there's just something about. And
I'm
I
going to
don't know.
kick you.
I've always enjoyed the 5'2",
I know.
the
I
short
even
ones.
when they get up on the cross for you,
Yeah.
I step back and I'm like, oh my God, he's in heaven.
Yep.
I totally get
I
it.
get it. I do.
And then whenever somebody that walks in that's 6'5" or 6'6", you turn to this guy at the store and said, "How tall are you?
Yeah.
And could you just squat down?"
Squat down when you stand around me, please. I need to be the tallest one here.
I love it. I love it. We're crazy. All right. So then one of the top 3 episodes was the intro into domination.
Okay.
So that is a big thing of the dom life.
Surprise, surprise.
So I just would like to know, since it was in the top 3,
Yes.
tell me a sexy way that you would dominate another person.
Okay.
But amping it up from that episode. That episode kind of got ground level.
That episode was kind of vanilla, people wanting to bring dominance in. Okay, so amping it up from that episode. Okay. Probably one of the first things I would do, I would come home, I would find out where you were. I would come to you, probably give you a hand signal to make you come to me.
Once you were visible, you'd make me.
Once I knew where he was at, once I got visible, I'd probably do a hand signal, make you come to me.
Cold.
Yes.
I'm just saying cold.
Just cold.
Okay.
Just you would come to me.
Okay.
Probably make you kneel right in place there. And then I would probably walk off and go find some implements.
Okay. Okay.
I would probably come back with some rope or wrist cuffs, vibrator. Yeah, I'd probably start off with that.
Okay.
I would find either kitchen table, coffee table, something that I could lay you over. Strap you to it somehow with the rope, with the cuffs. You could always I could put your chest on the corner of a table and cuff your hands behind the leg to where, you still can move, but you're not getting away from the table. Insert the vibrator, turn it on, and just let it set for 3 to 30 minutes. Who knows?
3 to 30?
Well, depends on what kind of mood I'm in. Let that get you all kind of worked up, hot and horny. Of course, any request for orgasms would probably be denied at that point in time.
So you're edging me.
Yep. So I would make you edge yourself. There would be orgasm denial there. When I was ready, I would probably come get you, take you off of that. I would probably take you to the couch, lay you down, make you pull your legs up where your feet and your butt are touching, and probably have you play with yourself.
That is always a tough request for me, which is so stupid, and I don't have a problem with it. It's just tough for me.
Right.
Something you made me do last night.
Yep. And again, it's the mindset of, that I'm watching you.
I do.
While you play with yourself.
Right.
So I would probably do that.
I'm not as an
exhibitionist
like some people. Right. It's just not my thing.
I would probably make you bring yourself one time to where you're wanting to orgasm, possibly with another denial.
Even while you're making me.
Yes, I'm gonna make you bring yourself to orgasm and deny it.
Denied.
Oh
no.
And then I would probably come over to you and while you continue playing with yourself, make you give me a blowjob.
Oh, okay. I enjoy that. I enjoy very much giving you a blowjob. So there I am.
And
Okay.
this would probably be the time I would make you bring yourself to orgasm and allow you to.
Yeah, because I push that edge when
Right.
I'm giving you a blowjob. I get very excited.
Okay. What was the question again?
We have lost the train of thoughts on that fantasy. All right. Well, that all works for me.
Did I answer what was the question
It
again?
was,
Okay.
it was tell
To
me a
dominate another
sexy,
person.
yeah,
Okay. Amping
that's
it up. Okay.
dominating right
All
there.
right.
You did answer it.
Okay.
And
Perfect.
you amped it up and you were descriptive.
All right. Now we'll flip the switch on you here.
Okay, I'll
We're
tell
going-
you how I can dominate.
Nope. Denied.
Denied.
So while the intro to domination was in the top 3, our intro into submission was in the top 10.
Oh, okay.
I actually think it was number 7, but
Okay.
it was in the top 10. So I want you to tell me something you would do as a submissive that you think I would thoroughly enjoy.
Okay. Well, I can think of something.
Okay.
Can this be pure fantasy or does it have to be something that you're going to force me to act out in a future date?
Yes.
Oh, this episode is killing me. All right. We're going to go with pure fantasy.
Okay.
Pure fantasy.
All right.
And not that it has to
I'm
be
gonna
a pure
take notes.
fantasy. But I think that if I got one of our friends to come over,
Okay. Male or female?
female,
Okay.
if I had a female friend that came over or maybe 2, it could be a total stranger who's 5'2".
Exactly.
Right there.
Or less.
I just solved everything. That's all you needed. No,
Yep.
okay. So, and maybe all 3, again, I'm creating a fantasy.
Okay.
All 3 of us are naked
You're off to a good start.
when you come in.
Okay.
And we help you to sit down. We serve you, whether it's food or drink or whatever you need, as you sit down. And we have the area set up, like the dungeon set up. And we put on a show for you where we're playing with. All of us are playing with each other, whether
Okay.
it's using implements, the electric wand, being very expressive, vibrators, stuff like that,
Okay.
and do a whole show which involves orgasms for each other and, that play to turn you on. It would be more of a performance,
Right.
things that we're enjoying, of course, but a performance for you to enjoy.
Okay.
Multiple women in front of you being dominant and submissive and all the good things.
All right. So now I have one question. Where do people go to apply for these positions so that this can happen?
Pure fantasy. Pure fantasy. And then
we'll be sending out, we'll have applications on
Nope.
our website where
all
you
right,
can
I'm going to
apply.
take that off the plate and we're going to add back. You know what? I know what I could do as a
Okay.
submissive that would make you happy, that won't involve a whole application process.
All right.
A massage, a full body
I can
massage
do that.
where you're naked, a little bit of oil, not lotion,
Right.
a little bit of oil where I'm getting deep into your tissue that lasts over an hour.
Fuck yeah.
And then, nail scratching involved and the whole thing that
Oh,
you
yeah.
love, not just deep tissue, but deep tissue, then playful,
All right.
fun.
I'll clear my schedule.
Okay.
We'll make that happen for sure. No, I think that would be cool. All right. Yep. That would definitely make me thoroughly happy.
All right. I have back at you. I got a
Okay.
question.
All right.
What is one thing that you think I would not enjoy? one thing that I would not enjoy, but that you would like to try? Something you'd be totally down for trying that you just don't think I would enjoy.
Okay. Something that I would like to try that I don't think you would enjoy, and I'm not 100% sure how it all lays out, how it all plays out, but a group play with BDSM mixed into it.
Okay.
So I'm thinking, a room full of dominants and submissives where by entering this room, you are giving consent for any submissive or any dominant to touch you, to play with you, to use implements on you.
Okay.
There will be, there will be ground rules that will
I was
be
going to say, like, what?
discussed.
Yeah.
No heavy impact.
Right.
Safe words are still in play. Everybody would, be on the stoplight. Safe words, yellow, red. Um, but you are giving consent to where I could play in touch with anybody I choose, and anybody could choose to play in touch with you. The dominants could make their submissives go play with another submissive, to do different acts, whether it would be sexually,
Because we've
whether it would
already
be,
agreed before
yes,
walking in.
yes.
I mean, there's some group rooms at like the club
Hmm.
and people enjoy interacting with
Right.
each other, but you're saying
I'm saying
BDSM
mix in a
can
little
be
bit
in,
of
oh
BDSM.
yeah,
The
where you're not
most group plays, they're in there, they're having sex, they're touching other boobs, they're fond on each other, and that would be part of it. But I would want to take it up a notch to where there would be floggers there and paddles there and little vibrators and implements and different such
yeah.
toys or something.
And you think that I wouldn't
I don't think you would, because you wouldn't be blindfolded. If you could do this blindfolded, you wouldn't necessarily be the center of attention. You wouldn't be
right.
blindfolded. So I don't know how well you would enjoy that,
I
but
don't either.
I think it would be something I would like to try.
Okay. Well, I don't know. That one I don't know, but I think that there would be fun. Like, okay, I could imagine a good time if we're all slicked up a little bit
Okay.
in a puppy pile.
All right.
Women like puppy piles, and then there are touching and things
Right.
happening. And if we're all just a little bit slicked up, that could be fun.
It could be.
A
It
lot of
could be.
slickery
A
going
lot, a lot of movement. We could
on.
just throw a big old pool of Jello in the middle of
No,
it,
that's
and
sticky. I want
not
grease.
while you're in it. It's only sticky when you get out
How
of
do
it.
you know?
I've been told. All right. What about you? What is something you would enjoy? Whether or not you think I would, could do it, would do it, either one. What is something you think you would enjoy doing?
the primal, the primal prey,
Okay.
being prey. I don't think you'd enjoy chasing me.
I don't run. I don't run.
And hand signals would not be allowed. I'm not prey
Right.
if I
Yeah.
walk my
'Cause
ass over to you.
that's a total different dynamic there. Yeah. I couldn't use my hand signals,
No.
and I don't run. And for you listening at home, if you do ever see me out in public, if you do ever see me running, your ass better start running too, because something bad is chasing us. Because you're not going to see me run.
No.
I don't run.
No.
I could, but you look back now, Freddie, Jason, Michael Myers, they never ran neither, and they always caught what the hell they were chasing after. They always got it. So I could be one of them. You just see me just casually strolling through the little area that we're
As
playing
I'm
in.
screaming
As you're screaming
and falling
and tripping
down.
and falling and going, oh no.
He's going to catch me. Maybe if I enacted that, then you could actually get me.
We'd have to try that sometime. All right. So those are just some of the questions, we thought we would throw at each other. Kind of another reintroductory period for us. Again, we wanted to talk about our season 2. We had such a good time with season one. I want to keep building. I want to keep getting better. I want to bring, more information, more funny moments, more highlights. Let's try to bring it into season two. I think we've got a pretty good start on some episodes that we want
Right.
to get into. For us, we want to venture out more into the community. We want to be more involved with local stuff. We want to attend more conventions to better ourselves, to educate ourselves. That way, we stay on top of the topics that we want to talk about, so that we can deliver them to you.
Yeah,
But
it's really hard over winter,
yeah,
and then summer hits and you're finally like, "Oh, I can," and then it's over. So
yeah,
it's we're working towards those
we are.
goals.
So stick around, stay tuned. We've got a whole bunch more coming. We've got a whole bunch more coming to you. We're excited about it. We can't wait to get this season two started.
Yeah.
And we hope you follow along for the journey. So until next time, we'll see you. Y'all have a good week.
Please follow, like, and share our podcast.
Make sure to visit thedomlife.com, where you can find pictures and other details about the Dom Life podcast. And through the Contact Us button, you can ask questions or provide recommendations for future episodes.
We want to explore your kink too.
Be sure to check out upcoming events to see where our adventures are taking us, and our photo gallery to where we've been.
Thank you for joining us on this journey. We hope you had fun listening and learning with us.
Till next time, keep calm and remember your safe word.
Red, red, red.